Hi, my name is Robyn, and I'm the owner of the Bird's Nest, which is a tiny home and RV community about 60 minutes east of downtown Dallas in Cumbie, Texas. And this is my tiny house that I've lived in for 7 years. The Bird's Nest has been open for a year and a half. I own 5.5 acres, but only 2.5 are fenced in, and that's where we all live, and we have a gate, and everyone that lives here has a clicker to open the gate. So this community has evolved into a community of women empowering women. Right now, 5 women live here, and we all get along really well, and there's no drama. We're going to take a tour of the community, and the first stop is going to be one of our pads and what's available to you at the pad. So here we are at one of the pads out here, and this pad is actually rented. It's waiting for its tiny house to arrive, which will be in November. And unfortunately, one of my tenants, she decided tiny wasn't for her, and so she left behind her deck that she had specifically built. And so the person coming here bought it from her, so she already has this deck. So then the pads are 10 by 30 concrete, and if you notice, this is a tie down. I had them fabricated, and when you bring your tiny in, we put the anchors down and we strap at all 4 corners. And then there's 30 and 50 amp. So I have 14 concrete pads available. I only want to fill 10, and I have 5 permanent residents right now. One is in an RV. RVs are absolutely acceptable here, but we do not take overnight or weekends. I can't vet people, and I don't want to put any of us at risk. We don't know, you just don't know who's coming in and out. So this is my Incredibox. You can see that it's all painted up, real girly. This is sometimes referred to as the Barbie house. I had a workshop here with a bunch of women, and we kind of finished it all up. It is 8 by 20, and I'm looking for a full-time renter. The reason I got this was I thought, oh, some people cannot afford to shell out $20,000, $15,000, and this would be a great opportunity for me to offer tiny house living in a safe environment with a great community for someone that doesn't have that kind of a down payment. So that's why I did this. Okay, here we are in the Incredibox. It's 160 square feet of livable space. I mean, every inch of this place is livable. Right now, I have a temporary renter. She's waiting for her Woody to come in, which will be here November 17th. We finished out this Incredibox at the Beautiful Builders Workshop. That was held here for 3 days. We had about 20 women come out. We finished the outside and the inside. Starting here in the kitchen, this is a butcher block, but this right here drops down. So if you wanted extra space, you could drop this down. What I suggest to everyone is keep it up, use this as a desk, put a stool under it, and then you still have room to put a recliner if you wanted. Or you can put a small refrigerator under here and make this your closet area, because I have a lot of people, a lot of women, where's the closet? So you can do a closet here. The tenant that lives in here now, she literally loves this place. She has an electric skillet, a crock pot. She doesn't have her induction oven yet, and she has a microwave. So now we're going to go into the bathroom. It's a short distance. You can see there's not a sink, but the sink is right there. Full shower. It's a big shower. It's bigger than the shower in my house. No composting toilet, a regular toilet. I added this up here. What's really nice is that this is all metal, so all you have to do is get these little hooks. All of her jewelry she has hooked over there. A great little spot. So this is the living area, and she just recently pushed her bed on this side. My preference would be to put a day bed right up here, and it looks like a couch, right? And then you have plenty of space. I mean, look what she has. She has a recliner. She has this where you would mount your TV up here. You could put another chair if you put your bed this way. So livable in 160 square feet. And then there's this loft. It's a great place to store all of your stuff you don't use. So when I originally decided to do this community, my goal was to keep the pad rent at a reasonable amount. I believe that the tiny house community was set up for a special reason, and that's so you could afford to retire. So be it that people go and spend $150,000 on their tiny, that's great. But I still like the fact that if you can go buy one between $50,000 and $60,000, then you come here. I always knew that I was never going to raise my rent higher than $450 a month with water included. And I think that's affordable because I don't need to gouge anybody. I don't need more. Oh gosh, I've been living in Tiny for 7 years. I lived originally at Tiny Lots on the Prairie for 4 years. Gosh, Tiny Lots was a great place. I didn't realize at the time that I would meet so many great people, and they were immediately best friends. I guess because we all were tiny, that we all had that in common, and so it brought us together as a group, because I think tiny people are unique. You know, you kind of go against the grain. I kept reading articles that your 401k, it wasn't going to be enough. So you had to invest your 401k money to make money. And I thought, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest my 401 in a tiny house community and then realize the rent from it. And that would be my passive income.
I wanted to see if I could handle tiny. So what I did was I was in like a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot home, and I left that and I went into a studio that was only 400 square feet to see, okay, can I get rid of this stuff and can I manage? And I loved it. But when you're living in a city, I was in Las Vegas, and my rent for that 400 square foot studio was $1,250. Besides all the utilities and everything. So there's a big difference. Since I was very blessed and fortunate, praise the Lord, that I was able to buy my tiny outright. Now all I pay is what I pay in my lot rent here and electric. And then of course, you know, your usual insurance and bills like that. Totally doable on a fixed income, and I would recommend it, especially women who are retiring and you want to be able to live and still be able to have a little bit of money that you could maybe put away into savings. Tiny. Tiny is the way to go, and the lot rent here is only $450 a month. So remember I said I was paying $1,250 in Vegas, my rent, electric, gas, water, trash, everything. So here, all of that is covered in the lot rent. And my highest electric bill, I've been here through the summer, so of course I'm running the air conditioner through the summer. And my highest electric bill was only $45.
So this is our community center. It's a 2022 travel trailer. We use it mainly when we want to get together when it's cold. We'll have dinner in there. We'll do game nights in there. We have a big TV. It's also used when We have friends that want to come out and maybe they don't want to drive an hour back in the dark, so they come and spend the night here. I've had friends to come and stay for like a week or two just because they're our friends. So it's really nice to have this in the community. Well, here we are at the party pad, and the biggest party animal is Turk. He loves music, and he will actually jump up in your lap, really only my lap, and go to sleep when we're out here. And here also are the real party animals, Birdie and Twig, my companions, faithful companions. So the pad actually evolved on its own. When you live tiny, you go outside. And we always would bring a chair over to this area. Then I bought a fire pit and many chairs, and this is where we all are, all the time. And here at this community, what I tell everybody, that if you're outside, you're fair game. That means that anybody can come up to you and talk to you. When you're in your house, that's your sanctuary. But this is it, and we've had many, many nights out here. And we're excited now because it's fire pit season.
Hey, I'm Haley. This is my RV. I live here with my son Coulter. Well, I'm from this area, was born and raised in Cumbie, ventured out a little bit, but not far at all. I am living in an RV because I was in a relationship living in his home. The relationship ended quickly and violently, so I left there and went to family's house. My income only allowed me to have $900 a month in rent. There was very few apartments even available, and it has to be less than $900, so there definitely was nothing available of that. I have definitely found an affordable living situation. My pad rent is $450, and then your RV payment is $300. You do have to have insurance on the RV because you have a loan, so that's my housing cost. And per Dave Ramsey, I'm under 10% of my living costs, and I think it's amazing. Coming and living at the Bird's Nest here has changed my life completely. I completely love it. I love everyone who lives here. When I looked for a place to live, a gated community was my #1 priority. But I feel safe. I feel at home, and nobody is telling me what and when and where to do anything. This is a Forest River Vibe. It's called a 32BH because it has a bunkhouse. Let's go take a look inside. Welcome to my home. This is my RV. I live here with my son, and I selected this one because it has a bunkhouse, so separate living space for me and my child. I don't do a lot of cooking in here. I have an outdoor kitchen where I have all of the things I cook with. Then on this side, on the slide out, you have a couch and a chair, living space. I work hybrid from home, so here's my desk with the equipment they provided me. On this side of my living room, I have the fireplace, which is my heating source. It's electric. You can heat an RV with electric and propane, so this is simpler for me. I play that radio right there all the time. It also plays outside. Pretty cool. And moving on back to my bedroom, first thing you'll notice is my shoes. You have to make sacrifices living tiny, so I just walk in here sideways. So this is my bedroom. I call it a queen size bed with a king size bedroom because you just have the bed and then a small walk-in space. These are my 2 hanging closets. I've got storage there. There's storage under the bed, and there's baskets that fit in under the bed for the socks, underwear, things like that. All right, so coming out of the bedroom, here's the bathroom. This bathroom is where the shower is. So everything's hanging, storage. It works for me. You know, I store the mop bucket in the shower. So this place has 2 bathrooms. This one's just 1 shower, but 2 toilets. It's not ideal because then you have 2 holding tanks to deal with. Having double holding tanks, let's deal with one nasty situation. This is Coulter's room. It is the bunkhouse. So, shoes in your face again. This room can sleep 4 people. This is where he sleeps, up here, and he loves it. And then there's this bunk, and this area's loungy, but can sleep as well. And then this is his closet, which I love. So he loves his little space. Since I'm in my RV, since I've got my living costs down and I'm able to save, my end goal is a tiny home because of the insulation benefits, the quality, that it will last. The heat, my electric bill is higher than the other tiny homes. 10 times higher. It's affordable because my housing cost is so low, but it is much higher. And you're constantly needing to be repairing something. In my past, when I have attempted a task, there's always that person standing over your shoulder telling you that's not right. No, not like that. That's not gonna work. Oh, come on, Haley, come on. Robyn has said before, we don't do that here. We try and try and try again. And if you mess up or you fail along the way, you laugh and nobody puts you down about it.
Okay, here we are. It's not much of a garden, but it was pretty good this summer. Cheryl is the gardener. We have 2 more of these boxes that we need to put together, and we're planning on getting a couple more. And also we're encouraging our tenants to put one right by their home if they want. This is also where the ducks get fed. Okay, this is our storm shelter. It was important for me, tie downs on the concrete pads and a storm shelter, because from a little bitty girl, I have always been afraid of wind and tornadoes, and I've never been in one, but I never want to be in one. So when I first started looking for property, of course the first thing you look for is unincorporated land. So that means there's no zoning. Just because it's unincorporated does not mean that you can just come and do what you want. So I had to go to the county zoning board. I had to go through a lot of hoops, and finally I got them on board. I bought the property, and the first thing that's really a concern for them is the septic. So that's the first thing that went in. Here at the Nest, we come together as a group. I think we help each other a lot emotionally. We don't know it, but you cannot go out at 65 and find a group of friends. You're not. If you retire and you think you're gonna have a tiny house and buy a piece of property somewhere by yourself, my gosh, you're just gonna be so lonely.
When you get older and it's kind of like, okay, I don't really want to be alone. And the people actually that are in the same kind of situation that you are, whether they're retired or they're single, and it's just helping one another and strengthening one another, that I like.
There's massive benefits of having my own space, but a neighbor, because Robyn has watched my kid. If I picked up a shift, we all help each other out. I could go on and on about the things we've done for each other.
Just the idea that this is a community is also something I don't think that you find everywhere, that you find tiny houses. We help each other out. I had knee replacement about 2 months ago, and everybody pitched in and helped. We have tools that we share. We have a community shovel. You know, somebody has whatever you need. Not everybody has to have the same thing. And I think that's another good thing about the Bird's Nest. We do see ourselves as a community, and we don't have to have one of everything.
Well, I do have a couple future plans. One of them this summer, I called in pool guys. Wanted to put in a swimming pool. I thought, you know, it's so hot. It was 120 degrees out there that we need a swimming pool. And I wanted in ground, and I had 3 different companies come out. One was $90,000 and the lowest was $60,000. And I thought, really? 60? I thought, okay, maybe I'll do 60. And so, of course, I talked with my community, and what do y'all think? Oh, Robyn, we don't need a $60,000 pool. So went to Walmart and bought a above ground, I think it was 18 feet. We had so much fun in that swimming pool. It was perfect. The goal for next year is to get just a slightly bigger one and have somebody build a deck on it. And the other thing is to build on one of the pads an outdoor kitchen. I wanted women to feel empowered. I don't ever say that, you know, men aren't allowed, but if you're a man that wants to come into a place that's, you know, empowering women, then hey, come on out. And we're not a bunch of women that are men haters, or it's just women that have worked hard all their life and just want to feel safe. And when there's a bunch of women together, you laugh, you don't care what you look like, you know, you just exist.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.